In this video, I give an overview of the best writing on mathematics, the 2017 edition. In the same vein as the previous books in the series, this volume contains both expository and interpretive pieces on mathematics and aspects of life in the mathematical community, historical and contemporary. To open the selection, Philip Davies sees mathematicians as producers and shows with many examples from the past and from the present that treating mathematical results as so-called products is neither far-fetched nor outrageous. It is just an observation supported by abundant evidence, but still denied by many mathematicians. Evelyn Lamb explained it is useful to know that certain big numbers are prime numbers, and why people are finding primes among a variety of numbers of certain algebraic expression. Kevin Hartnett describes the work of geometers and physicists who attempt to discover similarities among various random processes. Siobhan Roberts glosses on the idiosyncratic mathematical achievements of a peculiar centenarian, the recently celebrated Richard Guy. Lloyd Trefethen shows that the precision of mathematical statements obscures the multitude of contexts in which we can interpret such results. Gerald Alexanderson reviews biographical contributions inspired by Srinivasa Ramanujan's life and work, and tells us the intriguing circumstances under which he acquired a bronze bust of the famous Indian mathematician. Larry Riddle brings abstract algebra to the study of systems of functions to create beautiful fractal images. Mark France contributes with elements of projective geometry to the wider context within optics and perception of the moon tilt illusion. Mohammad Hossein Kasrei, Yahya Nourian, and Mohammad Javad Mahdavinejad study how the Persian architectural element jirih was used in the construction of 3 Iranian domes. They also analyze the relationship between dome curvature and the polygonal division of the dome's base circle. Joe Boaler and Lang Chen summarize studies from several disciplines to conclude that children's degree of dexterity with the so-called finger math is important to their mathematical development. Sinead Breen and Anne O'Shea rethink the design of undergraduate mathematics education, proposing that the central role held by the pairing of content and techniques should be replaced by what they called threshold concepts, which they defined and characterized in their piece. John Mason pleads for a mathematics education attentive to the circumstantial elements that occasion learning, as opposed to the dogmatism of normative theories so popular with the researchers. Victor Blasio exemplifies with a geometric algebraic construction taken from Leibniz's work the changing meaning of mathematics and mathematics notation over the past few centuries. Carlos Equin and Raymond Chow examine a famous painting by Fra Luca Pacioli to determine whether the plane rendering of a spatial geometric object is genuine, and bring the topic to the present by offering a computerized version of that representation. Jeremy Gray asks what would have passed as most valuable mathematical research, most worthy of award-winning consideration a century and a half ago, and examines in that context the work of several mathematicians prominent at the time. Nosonyanovsky illustrates with an abundance of examples different types of mathematical and scientific limitations, from logical and physical to mental and practical. Jean-Pierre Marquis defines abstractions and levels of abstraction in mathematics, distinguishing between the axiomatic method and the abstract method. Then he infers the philosophical consequences of using the latter. Robert Bain considers pro and con arguments for the proposition that human reasoning, beliefs, and decision-making actively adjust based on evidence and probability expectations. Speaking of expectations, in the last piece of the anthology, Graham Southorn describes quantitative methods used in forecasting and explains why they never achieve certainty in our ever more complex world. Besides these texts, the Best Writing on Mathematics 2017 edition contains a long list of hundreds of other titles notable and published during the 2016 calendar year.